Hey guys, welcome to my channel, Vegas Mini Mansion. My name is Marlow. I'm gonna help you connect a drip irrigation system to your outside hose bib garden faucet, guys. So first off, we're gonna go over some reasons why you may wanna choose this way. Maybe you've always dreamed of having a raised garden in your backyard and you wanna know how to distribute water to your vegetables or flowers. Or maybe you moved into a brand new home and there's absolutely no drip irrigation in your backyard and you just want to find an efficient, inexpensive way to water your new trees and plants. Or maybe you moved into a used home, the irrigation is broken and you want to bypass that broken irrigation. You want to connect the drip irrigation to your faucet and get it done. So all you need is poly tubing, this timer that's less than 60 bucks, some quick connects, and some PVC pipe, and that's all you need, guys. It's very easy to do. I'm gonna show you with my outside faucet, and why I chose this one is because it connects with the phone application to your phone, and with those manual ones that are outside, they have a battery. All of these have batteries, but I wanted to know if the battery timer was ever, or the battery power was ever gonna go out. It would tell the phone app that the battery energy is not working, and then I can quickly just put a battery inside. But also it will tell me if there's any leaks in the irrigation, which is a rarity, but just to make sure that your plants and trees are being watered and it connects to your phone. So that's why I chose this one, and it's pretty cool, guys. So let's install it, guys. Let's go. All right, guys, so this is the first step. So I'm gonna take this off because this one is the old one, but this one's not connected to an app. You just manually set the timer. I'm replacing it because I'm just tired of the battery runs out every probably like 3 months, 2 to 3 months, and I just prefer to have an app tell me when the battery's done or the water hasn't been watering. So I'm just gonna take this off real quick. We're gonna put on the new one. So now we're gonna put the Teflon tape around here. Whenever you're dealing with threads, you always wanna put Teflon tape. So we're just gonna put a little bit. You don't gotta put too much. All right, guys, so I'm wrapping the Teflon tape around the threads here though, but I wanna explain to you guys that I have this two-way valve here. So if I ever want to use this hose off to the left, I can at any given time by simply just turning on the valve. We're putting the timer on this side. I'll have everything down below so you can find, but you want to have a two-way valve so you can have a separate hose for, you know, anything else. So I have the Teflon tape, just simply not too much, and that's it, guys. All right, guys, so I have the timer here. I'm just simply gonna put it on just like that. And that Teflon tape is there to prevent leaks. So if you ever get leaks in that area, you just simply just undo it and put new Teflon tape. All right, we got it on. All right, guys, so as you can see, we have threads again. So anytime you're dealing with threads, you got to use this Teflon tape. All right, we're gonna put Teflon tape around again, just a good amount. Don't get too crazy with it or you'll have a hard time putting this on. So this is the pressure regulator, so we're gonna put the pressure regulator on after, right here. All right, guys, so as you can see, I'll put the Teflon tape here and I'm gonna put the pressure regulator. But for those who that are putting just a water hose onto here and connecting a water hose to like one of those pulsating or rotating sprinklers just for grass, you'd only need a water hose for just watering grass. So continue on if you're doing actual drippers and PCV pipe for landscaping around the backyard. Again, if you're just putting a hose on here and attaching a sprinkler to sprinkle water on grass, all you need is to put the hose on here. You will not need this pressure regulator. So you just put this pressure regulator on. Continue on, guys. Alright guys, I got the pressure regulator on, but as you can see how we have the threads again. So every time there's threads, we got to use that plumber's tape again. So I'm gonna wrap plumber's tape around right here. Alright guys, so I simply just put the Teflon tape about 3 times around. That's all you need. If it leaks, if you find you attach this and it's leaking, you just put a little, just undo it and put more Teflon tape. But I want you to pay attention to these quick connects. So remember we were talking about the poly tubing. So this poly tubing, I'll show you right now. I'll show you what this poly tubing is. So the poly tubing goes under the ground for me. If you're doing an above ground garden, you don't obviously do not need to dig a trench. And I simply just put it, that poly tubing, inside the PCV pipe under the ground, and you put it inside the PCV pipe so the rocks don't crush and pinch the poly tubing, right? So this is basically just like an inch or 2 underneath this retaining wall, and it goes all the way underneath. Very simple. It goes all the way over here, goes under the rocks, under the grass, and then boom, this is the poly tubing right here. See, right here. It's that simple, guys, and I'm able to water my trees, all of my plants, right? So let's go back over here. All right, guys, pay attention to this part, right? All these elbows, these L's, and these little quick connects are all at Lowe's or Home Depot. But pay attention to this one. So here's the poly tubing right here. Look for the one that can screw on right here, but at the end it has the quick connect. So look at that real quick, and you need that part. You'll find it at Lowe's or Home Depot. You just simply put it on, twist it on, but do it tight, right? I'm doing this with one hand. You're gonna do it tight, and simply, if you're doing an above ground garden, all you need is this poly tubing, right? And then you cut it off, and then you have those little micro tubing. I'll show you the micro tube. All right, guys, so if you're doing an above ground garden bed, maybe you're growing fruits and vegetables, so you're not gonna have to bury your PVC pipe, right? You can just keep this above ground, right? Maybe 10 feet, 15 feet, and then you put a dead end, right? It's to where the water can't leave, right? You put that at the end, and then you connect your micro tubing by poking holes in your PVC pipe. And I follow my other videos, and I'll show you how to install drippers, and you connect the micro tubing to the PVC, poly tubing, and that's how you're able to distribute all that water to all your plants. But it's that easy, guys. You're just basically using these elbows, these quick connects, the poly tubing, micro tubing. I believe this is the hardest part right here, where people get stuck. That's why I'm creating this video. Everything will be down below. Like I said, what's best about this, you can do everything on your phone, and it will tell you if there's a leak, there's a dead battery, therefore your plants don't die while you're on vacation or something. You know what I mean? I truly believe people quit on their yards because something happens to their irrigation and they just, all their plants die and they just give up. But don't give up, guys. It's part of life, you know? You gotta build your palace. You gotta build up your backyard. Feel good about yourself. And then also I wanted to add, if you gotta dig trenches in your yard, you're gonna use a pickaxe like this. You're not gonna use a shovel. That sharpness at the end makes digging so easy. It's real easy, guys. You only gotta go underneath maybe 2 or 3 inches. It's not that hard. And you only gotta go so far, right? It's that easy, guys. Alright guys, so we're just gonna put everything together. So we have the pressure regulator here. We put Teflon tape, and then here's what I was talking about. This is called a swivel compression adapter. And it just looks like this. So it allows you to screw on and then put the tubing on the bottom there. So we're just gonna put this on. Just like that. Alright, now we're gonna put the tubing. I'm gonna recreate one for you. Alright guys, so we're gonna get started. So every time you're dealing with poly tubing, all you gotta do is use scissors to cut the poly tubing. Alright, so I'm gonna get rid of this old one and create a new fresh one for you guys, so you guys have a good idea. So you just use your scissors. Alright guys, so we're gonna get started. We're gonna get rid of this old tubing here, and I'm gonna do it with a fresh new tubing here. So anytime you're dealing with tubing or that other PVC pipe, you use PVC cutters, but for right now I can't find mine, so I'm just gonna use scissors. So when you're using these elbows, these quick connections, there's no glue required. All you do is simply put the tubing inside and push it in so it's kind of snug. You got a tight fit, and that's all you need. No glue is required. So I'm gonna come down here and cut this just like that. Very simple. So I'm gonna try to replicate this shape. All these attachments is pretty much like Legos, right? Every attachment you can find at Lowe's, right? Just remember that. So right here, I'm gonna replicate it. Push this on, just like that. Get it down in there nice and snug. You're like probably wondering, how does it stay on? So when the water turns on, those tubing, it swells up. So that's why it's able to stay connected without glue. It's on, nice and snug. So I'm gonna cut another piece. I'm gonna put it on right here. Squeeze it on. Just push it on. So it's nice and snug. Just like that. And then I'm gonna cut again. Oops. Cut again on right there. Just like that. Alright guys, so I got my other L shape here to go up. Simply just put it on just like this. Nice and snug. So now we're going up, right? That's what I'm gonna do. Just put this on right here. Twist and turn. It's like a Legos for adults, guys. But you're gonna be doing this throughout your whole yard, guys. Every time you want to turn or go straight, you can use these quick adapters. So I know I want to go deep here, so you got to leave room to go deep down into that quick connect. So I'm gonna leave a little extra right down right there. And just push it in. Make sure when you guys are out there in the hot heat, you drink electrolytes. So you can last longer out there. And that's it, guys. That's it. And I'm gonna put this ventilation around. So I'm gonna cut it right there. Ventilation's not required, but it just makes the tubing last longer because it's in a hot heat. Just like that. And I'll do the other one right here. So about right there. And there you guys go. That's simple, guys. This is not required, but it just makes it last longer, guys. So there you go. That's it. You can tape it if you want. Some duct tape.